Okie dokie. Well, that is wonderful. Just about through the last remaining bit of Depths 3 here. And in fact, I'm guessing we've already taken care of the majority of actual enemies just through the sheer amount of attention we garner. Just how dang nifty we are. Was I even worried about? That's what I'm thinking too. It's a terrible thought to be having. The number one precursor to hubris for sure, but it's not wrong either. In fact, what could possibly go wrong? 72 large rocks, our claws at our disposal. It's a beautiful world. Let's head into Depths 4 and hopefully not learn the answer to the hypothetical questions. Oh, hello, Parget. Oh my gosh. I feel like I might have seen Parget once. Interesting, though. Let's actually... Parget, if you could come here, my friend. Soften you up with some rocks, or not at all, but that's cool. We're just gonna play this one super safe. Get some stuns on our side. Ooh, and you did drop your skin. Wait, who was wearing +7 gold dragon scales? Excuse me? Also, such a weird feeling to see that on a troll in Depths, making our first journey through Depths and ignoring +7 gold dragon scales. Incredible stuff. I feel like I keep waxing on and on about this armor set, but for good reason, my friends. It's pretty wild stuff on a troll character, on any character really, especially I guess any melee character that is likely to be using said weapons. I'm also curious, I can't remember if I can convert enemy clouds into elementals. I feel like I can. I feel like it's any elemental cloud in our vicinity. I mean, there's no poison elemental, so definitely the most common of clouds, as we see once again. Not going to be super duper useful, but might come a time as we continue forward here that becomes a little bit more of a factor. Yeah, no electricity resistance. If I could get an amulet with electricity resistance on it, that would be huge. That's all I really need. Try poison scroll. Yeah, no, I think in general poison is just a non-starter. I'm now more so curious about the like fire clouds and ice clouds, because that I could see being a factor. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh gosh, I might be dead after all that. Don't mess around with Grunt. I was confused them with Grum in my head. 7 more health, 1 more swing at us and we might be dead. I'm still howled though, which is rough. I think what I need to do here, first and foremost, blink. Then, most of these enemies are at least just range. I think I can cancel Howl, right? No! No! I needed to blink again! Cancellation didn't even cancel the Howl, so I'm just stupid. Oh my gosh, what a day. 2 characters just in the prime of their youth, doing wonderfully. Oh man, I should not be allowed to pilot these buddies. Oh me oh my, highly deserved this one. Very much let loose into the doldrums of hubris there. Whoopsie daisies. Definitely should have given more consideration to Grun in general, but on top of that, played a little bit slower, I think, over this last little bit. Once we started getting into Depths 4, you know, that's where we're tending towards some more dangerous territories, so would have been in my best interest. Oh me oh my. Yeah, who has Bolt of Negative Energy? Did Tits Middles do that? Must be. Again, if we'd been playing slower, actually looked at the abilities right before us, might have been a little more evident that we needed to get the heck out of dodge. But oh me, oh my. Hey, Ivy. Golden Claw Tornado. That's a great way to put it. Lived like they died flying by the seat of their pants. Holy moly. Well, regardless, we were getting pretty close to the end of our evening. I think... don't necessarily want to leave off here. Maybe we'll start the next run. At least take the pressure off of me next week to have to come up with the combo and name that we want to play, so that will work out. But, you know, Trundle, did your best, kiddo. Great work out there. So sorry to pilot you into the ground. But yeah, super fun one. I'm now excited again for Qazlal, because they are coming back up again. In fact, I feel like that's going to be my my copium throughout the course of this series, is that every time we die, especially if it's late in a pretty solid run with a deity, just means that deity is not off the list yet. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that I kind of hate playing as, but off the top of the dome, I think I'm pretty happy with it all. Hey Tardred, how's it going? It's been a hot minute, friend. Thank you for the bits, I appreciate it. I hope things are going well for you. You've had a fantastic last while and having a wonderful weekend here as well. Just turned 21, bro. Congrats. Well, happy belated birthday. I hope it was a good one. Turning 21 on the weekend. Very fortuitous. But no, happy birthday for sure. And okie dokie, where do we wish to go next? Using your birthday money on streamers? Well, thanks. I appreciate it, but don't spend it on us. Spend it on yourself, friend. You deserve it. But no, thank you regardless. Never any pressure to send anything my way. I definitely don't stream for the money. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't still be here. I do it for the love of the game and for all of you fantastic individuals as well. Rather make others happy? Well, that's wonderfully altruistic of you. Thank you. Thank you, Tardred. Okie dokie, where do we wish to get a bit of a kickoff to end off our day here? Like my vocab? Thanks. I definitely try my best to expand my vocabulary a decent amount. Part of it is just my incessant annoyance at not when other people do it, but just when I reuse the same word twice in a sentence for whatever reason. That just breaks my brain. It just bugs me so much. So a consequence of that is that I will oftentimes use creative words, oftentimes to a detrimental effect. I will say something that is more clunky or like awkward feeling just because it follows this insane kind of arbitrary rule that my brain has come up with growing up. If you're really into rapping, so you like when people have a good or unique vocab. You a big Aesop Rock fan then? That's my favorite part. I haven't listened to Aesop Rock in a long time, and I'm hoping I got the right rapper there. I'm pretty sure I did, because I used to listen to the ever-living crap out of them. But incredible vocabulary. Yeah, I always remember that you're a Juice WRLD fan, because you kind of turned me on to them. And I've really enjoyed listening to all the tracks that Juice WRLD had put out. Unless you have a similar problem, way too verbose. It's truly a curse, but we bear with it. They say brevity is the soul of wit, so you need to work on finding that balance. You know, there's something to it. I do enjoy, I think I'm in a similar boat to Tardret, where I do enjoy hearing different words. And every once in a while you'll have someone that you meet out in the wild that's like, that's a good word you just used. So, you know, that's a nice way to get your ego stroked a little bit. And who cares about brevity or wit if people just kind of like you? Or they hate you and just don't say anything. They're just keeping it to themselves because they're too polite to talk about how annoying my patter of speech is, but you know, one or the other. Either way, 50 coin flip. They love you or they hate you. But okie dokie, let's try to jump in for one final hurrah, one final adventure through the depths here. And I think maybe this time around we'll go back to an idea that was floating about earlier of switching over to a ranged character. You know, we killed off our lovely spellcaster first thing this evening, killed off our wonderful melee troll. What's left to do but get started on another archer, a ranger with huge potential, and we can kill them off next week. So, with that in mind, what species do we wish to go with? I guess I haven't played Formicids in a while, and Formicids are fun rangers just for being able to use some of the heavier ranged weapons in tandem with the shield. It's a bit of a cheat because Formicid was, I think, both... Oh, I'm trying to remember in our Great Player series what kind of style of Formicid we played, but definitely we did our 15 rune ranger run. That was with the Formicid, right? I feel like it was, because I believe we were using like a holy triple crossbow in combination with a beautiful tower shield to just mince our way through the late game. But you know, let's do it. It's been a little bit since we'd done so. So Formicid Hunter, and I always find Formicids the tough one. Ooh, some throwing silliness. That's interesting too. I mean, we definitely saw a hint of that with our troll. You know, I'm a sunk cost fallacy. I guess I'm extremely vulnerable to the sunk cost fallacy is what I'm trying to formulate in my brain. So I think I'll stick with this for now since we've gone this far, but I do like that suggestion, Soundless. I'll keep that in mind for if this run either goes horribly or wonderfully. Maybe we need to explore throwing a bit more. That'd probably be a large species. Almost have to be like a troll or an ogre, just because part of the most fun you can have with throwing escapades is probably large rocks and just the absurd amount of damage that they can output. You know, providing you don't accidentally get yourself demolished in the couple of turns that it takes to do so, but definitely keep that in mind. As for our Formicid name, this one almost has the opposite issue of what we normally struggle with in names. A lot of like puns or wordplay comes to mind, but unfortunately we used a lot of them in the Great Player series. So Ant. Another option, instead of going for like a pun, I could call myself like Three Bow, and it's just a play on the fact that I have 6 arms. I guess I don't have 6 arms, because 2 of them are legs that we're walking on. It's weird when you try and anthropomorphize your ants. It gets real confusing real quick how the limb situation works out. But 2-bow, not technically possible in the game, but very fitting. And you know what? I can't be bothered to come up with anything intelligent, so that's where it all lands, I guess. Oh geez, as I press a bunch of random buttons, there we go. Get our skill set up, all the usual routine. Even as a ranged character, I always, out of habit, turn on the thrown weapons just in case it becomes relevant at some point over the course of the run. And last but not least, we'll of course do a quick dump to our morgue, and let's grab that game seed just in case any of you lovely folks want to join along from at home. I guess before I switch off the one on screen, I can't remember if acquirement scrolls are seeded. Because if they are, and you're interested in playing a troll and just rampaging through the game, I'd highly recommend the game seed, I guess, way over on that side of the screen. But regardless, let's replace that with our new one just in case you want to see how you fare as our lovely ant friend here. Anthropomorphize was a good one. It almost didn't come to mind. I was struggling. I was grasping at stray thoughts, trying to get the synapses to formulate something coherent. Glad we got there. But I do like that one for sure. Certain X layout, crossbow, its fate. Some things are just meant to be. Oh, in classic fashion, as always, every form said hunter. I always forget that dig becomes or starts as our quivered ability rather than shooting an arrow, so great start me. Fantastic stuff. I guess tab works for bows, so maybe I should have just been tabbing the whole time. Maybe that's what the fates are truly trying to convey. But regardless, we are off to the races here. We shouldn't have too much of a struggle in the early days. I will gladly buy maybe some curing, haste, mutation, resistance. All can kind of add on to the shopping list there, since likely to all come in handy at some point over the course of our journey. But as I was mentioning, we're off to the races here, and we should have relatively little trouble for the early game here. I also, out of old habit, almost went immediately to put on that ring mail, but remembered that armor now has a much greater effect on range combat than it did back in the day. We can check out this altar has Che Briados, Dithmenos, or Fedas. Oof, that's tough. I wanted Che to wait for a Naga character, maybe even a Braki. I'm a sucker for species that are already a bit slower in terms of movement, because then it kind of feels like a natural extension. You know, I'm already dealing with all the issues that a Chabriados follower would, so why not kind of lean into it full bore? But Dithmenos and Fedas both could be fun with a ranged character. Especially, I'm hoping for Fedas. And you can maybe guess by how I phrase that I'm probably saying yes to this altar. They're at least all new gods, so we're not worried about a double up. And we do get Fedas. Okay, so that's one of the best options for an aspiring hunter in training here. So hopefully we can survive long enough to get to the point where we can start to flex those muscles a bit and explore some of the options. So look at that, a Che altar is the very next thing we find. Ooh, and we get immediately shafted down a couple of floors. That's nice. Oh gosh, do I just ignore Grinder, let them sleep for now? I think I do. Scary stuff. I guess it's still early days. We're only D4, so what's the worst that could come up to our attention here? Not the end of the world to get shafted this early on, though still definitely not ideal. Oh, not like this. Terrence, could we maybe chill for the briefest of moments? And at least, I guess, get an ID scroll. Heal wounds is an option. So how much damage can you do? 12. Just want to make sure I'm not in one-hit range. Glad I did check, because it turned out at that very moment in time, we were 2 health away from one-hit kill, and Terrence rolled a max hit, so almost saw all of our greatest fears coming to pass in one fell swoop, but fortunately, no such danger quite yet today. Protection from Cold Ring, I will gladly pick up, thank you. And not too shabby here. We've at least kind of recovered. Slightly concerned about the poison there, which was probably not at all apparent in how I played the situation, seeing as how I just spammed auto attack as if we didn't have a care in the world. But just know that once my brain caught up to what my fingers were doing, immediate panic mode. Ooh, but we do manage to replenish the heal wounds potion that we had to use earlier on, so that will hopefully be another good way to keep ourselves alive in an otherwise terrifying experience, especially as we continue through the more tumultuous stages of the run here. Holy moly. Oh, and this time, wake up Grinder. Hello again, Roboteal, welcome back. And... or maybe you've been lurking this whole time, in which case, thank you and hello. Oh gosh. Oh. Bunch of pain shoots through our body. Thanks for that, friend. Well, we might be in trouble. Never should have even endeavored to look at Grinder, but I'm going to shaft myself. And that is preferable to a otherwise assured death. Speaking of assured deaths. Oh man, I'm going to use up all my potions far too early in the run, but still going to try our best. We'd like to survive at least long enough to see some of Vedhas's potential come to fruition here. That's the current strategy, that's the dream and the plan. No real guarantees, of course, but it's still pretty early in the dungeon, so should be okay. Just stop giving me scary enemies, please and thank you. Or if I could get like, again, I feel greedy after how the previous run went here, but if I could get like a beautiful piece of leather armor, a bit more defensive capability, could be nice, could be fun even. And regardless, we'll just try and finish off this floor. Ooh. Get an evocable blink ring. Amulet of the Cockatrice. Turning peel to stone. Unfortunately, I don't think is an ability, an option to us rather as an ability. But a reflection branded amulet with poison resistance and see invisible. Cold vulnerability sucks. The corrode ego also pretty dang bad. I guess... I mean, this is all hypothetical, all academic. I can't actually afford any of these at this moment, and there's no guarantee I survived to the stage where I could afford any of them, but, you know, optimistic thinking, planning for the future, and we'll see how she goes, shall we? I mean, we are starting to get some god abilities, so another thing that we might want to start bringing onto the table here is invocations. I always kind of forget that pharmacids are really good at invocations, so that's very interesting. Ooh, a Scarf of Repulsion. The very least should pick it up. I don't know where the trade-off lands right now between the one armor class that our current cloak is giving us compared to the kind of utility offered by the Scarf of Repulsion. Maybe we'll just try it for now. We'll roll with the punches and we'll see how it all goes. Can at least use up all of these ID scrolls that we're lugging about. And of course, teleport, never get to use. Whenever it's been even a little while since I played a Formicid, I kind of forget the actual ramifications of stasis and how it plays out in the actual run. Oh gosh. Well, let's Wall of Briars. Trap our friend here, and then fortunately we're able to fire through them. And so there we go, our first little bit of advantage eked out by our lovely plant buddy, Vedhas, of course. And hopefully that's something that we can remember going forward in the future in any kind of near-death scary experience. Hopefully not near-death, but more so early enough that it's recognizably scary, but not quite to the point that we're about to be murdered. But if that can be one of the first things that comes to mind, should be in a fairly decent spot to play defensively, play intelligently, basically all the things that I aspire to do but never really managed to put into practice. But hey, there's a first time for everything, and maybe, just maybe, this will be that time, eh? I mean, we did not get an artifact leather armor, but we did get a decent bit of armor here. Yeah, that really sucks. Holy crap, my friend. Just a gargoyle hanging out here for some reason. No real idea why. Regardless, it's not great. What we could do is bring out our mandibles and start just tunneling to the right here so that we're at least out of sight range of this son of a gun. Because right now, if they miss the briar patch, shoot through it and hit me, we're in trouble. Deep, deep trouble. If I can pop through here, if I lose sight of the briar patch, then that's an issue. But avoiding that eventuality. Now I have a vendetta against our gargoyle friend here. 3d12, so I guess it maxed out. It hit like a 36. Was I already hurt? How did I go quite that low? Huh. Maybe I don't attack. Oh, I do attack pretty slow. So there's always a chance that I actually took 2 stone arrows to the face. Regardless, let's, I guess, try to skirt around our problems for now. As is so often the case, we'll just ignore our problems instead of facing them head on and pretend that that will eventually solve all of them by proxy. Oh, shoot. Oh, and I should not have actually come upstairs. I don't know. Don't know what I'm thinking. Perfect. Great job, me. So yeah, going upstairs was just kind of bad because it brought us back to the gargoyle. I mean, turns out that we were kind of in a nasty spot regardless. I don't know what the best solution there would have been. Trying to get into open area somehow. If we had just survived long enough for that. Like, I guess even not going to the side here, but going, like, up. And then, so we had only 2 attacking us. And then had maybe another turn to think things through. But regardless, Tubo, unfortunately, going down pretty quick. Didn't quite get to the point of showing off all of the benefits that our lovely benevolent fed ass could bring to us. But hey, that's totally fine. Thank you for your contribution to the Dungeons Fertilizer. Definitely, I feel like Fedhass's death message and I think Gozag's death message are probably my favorite too. Because Fedhass, just always a homie, appreciating your contribution. What a good soul, very caring for the earth. And then Gozag, I just love the idea that not only are you turning all your enemies into piles of gold when you kill them, but even you, in death, so shall return to the sweet, sweet greed of gold. But hey, decent little try there. Maybe we will go with something other than Formicid, or should I give that one another try? It wasn't quite the, didn't quite let our legs spread, didn't let our wings grow, didn't get to that stage in the run. So we could try out Formicid again, or do a quick switch. Even, I guess we did mention earlier, based on Soundlust's suggestion, that we wanted to do a throwing run as well. So could always try that out. Don't make it to lair, doesn't count, right? That's definitely how I oftentimes like to phrase it, if just for my own mental health.